You'll find graffiti artist Keith Haring's work everywhere you go, from fashion to furniture, in public murals and art prints. His iconic style enjoys continued success almost 40 years since he first rose to fame. In his early years, Haring gained attention in New York's subway stations, where he was often arrested for creating chalk drawings on unused billboard spaces. His signature Radiant Baby developed out of exhibitions held at Club 57 in the East Village in 1980. There, Haring befriended Madonna, fellow artist Jean-Michel Basquiat, and pop art icon Andy Warhol, who featured in a number of pieces including Andy Mouse. Pulling on childhood influences from Disney, Merry Melody cartoons and pop art, Haring's unique style soon became evident across the city. In 1982, he painted two figures with a radiant heart motif, symbolising the love between two men, making a bold statement at a time when LGBT activists were on the march.
Once I started to realise that exactly how I was communicating, I started to be much more aware of what I was communicating.
His icon for National Coming Out Day is still used every year. In 1984, Haring began travelling the world, painting public murals in Melbourne, Sydney, Barcelona, Paris, Berlin and Rio.
I went to Berlin for about 3 days when I went to do the wall, and unfortunately, as is often the case, it was very cold and almost rainy most of the time I was there. And so I started painting. But when I began to paint, the East Germans were peering over the wall all the time. At first they were curious because they saw all the people sort of milling around on the western side and the press and things, so they didn't know exactly what I was going to do.
Haring had strong political beliefs, and he supported campaigns to end South African apartheid, for the reunification of Germany, and to highlight the crack cocaine epidemic sweeping New York, he created Crack is Whack, which was recently restored. His most personal campaigns fought for equal rights and AIDS awareness as the disease ravaged New York. In 1985, Haring partnered with Grace Jones to paint the iconic singer in white graffiti for 2 live performances, and again in 1986 for the movie Vamp, where Jones played Katrina, the vampire stripper. He was also photographed naked by Annie Leibovitz after painting himself into his own space. In 1986, he opened his pop shop in New York's Soho district, breaking down the barriers between high and low art. But in 1988, Haring was diagnosed with HIV, 8 years before effective antiretroviral treatments would become available. In 1989, he established the Keith Haring Foundation to provide funding and imagery to AIDS organisations and children's programmes, and to licence his work in the years to come. On February the 16th, 1990, Keith Haring died from an AIDS-related condition aged just 31, leaving behind a huge legacy and having changed popular culture forever.
If you love life, if you appreciate life and humans, then you should be against anything that's going against life.
Well, that's all from us for this week. Don't forget to catch our daily bulletins throughout the week at Pink 60 News, and join us again next time for more Pink 60 entertainment.